I didn't read for almost 3 years, and now suddenly I care again. Hi, welcome to Jackie's Reading Corner, a cozy little spot on the internet where we talk about books and everything we feel in between the pages. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jackie. Today I'm going to be sharing my physical TBR with you guys and how getting out of a 3-year-long reading slump has helped me remember what kind of reader I truly am. My way back into reading definitely was not perfect. I started with the ACOTAR series, and I know it's really well loved, but I did not like it. It was really hard for me to get through. I would say the first book is like a 2 out of 5 stars for me, and I tried to read the second book and I ended up DNFing it. But then I picked up Adelaide by Genevieve Wheeler, which Book Talk recommended to me as an after breakup read, and that was the first time I felt genuinely connected to the characters of the story, and I thought, yep, I have to get back into reading again. After that, I read Lonely Castle in the Mirror by Mitsuki Sugimura, and I also picked up The Vegetarian by Hong Kong. This book had me thinking. Let me tell you guys that this book had my brain working overtime. I do have to say this book was definitely a 5-star read for me. And my most recent read is White Nights by Dostoevsky. This is my very first piece of Russian literature that I've ever read, and I do have to say I absolutely loved it. It completely sparked this curiosity for more Russian classics, so my TBR has now expanded to titles such as Anna Karenina, Crime and Punishment, and The Idiot. For a long time, I really tried to say that I was reading, but I wasn't really truly present with any of my books. So this year, I didn't want to just read anymore. I wanted better quality time with the stories, and I wanted to feel more connected to my books. A lot of the books I'm about to show you, I actually bought 2 or 3 years ago, and I never really touched them since buying them. So before buying any more new physical books, I promised myself to read what I already owned. And somewhere in between switching from my Kindle to paperback, I remembered how much I actually miss the physical feeling of reading. Getting out of my reading slump helped me realize what kind of reader I am. I really enjoy dystopian stories, classic literature, and pieces of literature that make you think. The kind of books that ask you uncomfortable questions and the kind that stay with you long after the book has ended. Now I'm going to share my physical TBR for the new year. These are the books I'm going to be committing to before I buy any more physical books. I have quite the stack of Camus here, if you guys can see. These titles include A Happy Death, which I'm actually currently reading, and I'm about 50% of the way through. So I'm excited to cross this one off the list. The Stranger, The Fall, and Exile and the Kingdom. I've been pretty drawn to Camus lately because he explores absurdity, morality, and what it means to exist in a world that doesn't always make sense. The Stranger specifically, I read in my AP literature class in high school. So this is a really meaningful book to me and what introduced me to Camus as an author. That same class also introduced me to George Orwell, who wrote stories such as 1984 and Animal Farm. And I've been thinking about rereading those books because they have themes that are still incredibly relevant even to this day. Another classic I have on here is The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. This explores vanity, identity, and the cost of living for appearances. I have heard a lot of great things about this book, so I'm really excited to read this one. The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. This book has been recommended to me a million times over. I have thought about exploring the Hulu series of this as well, but I figured I would give the book a shot first before, watching any of the media surrounding this book. I also have quite the poetry stack here that I've owned for years, but I have not actually spent time with. So I do want to go through these as well. We have Milk and Honey and Pillow Talks, which I'm sure everybody has read at least once in their life. I have Flowers on the Moon and Flower Crowns and Fearsome Things. This year I really wanted to sit and read with my poetry instead of just flipping through all the pages like I normally do. And since I'm rebuilding my reading habits from the ground up, I wanted to set some intentional reading goals for 2026. My goals are pretty simple, but also pretty meaningful to me. Goal 1, read at least one classic and one nonfiction book every month. I want to balance between imaginative stories and ideas that challenge the way I see the real world. Goal 2 is to read 35 books by the end of the year. I know this is not a huge number, but it's enough to keep me motivated and consistent. Goal 3, keep a reading journal, which I have actually already started. I wanted to annotate more, reflect more, and revisit the lines that stay with me. Goal 4, branch out into new genres instead of staying comfortable in just one. Goal 5, read at least one book from an author somewhere else in the world. Goal 6, choose quality reading over quantity. I don't want to rush anything just to say that I finished a book. And finally, goal number 7, I really want to join a book club this year, something local or something online, because I want reading to feel a little more communal instead of just reading by yourself. If you feel like sharing, I would really love to know what book brought you guys out of your reading slump. And if you have any classic, dystopian, or thought-provoking fiction you'd recommend, you can leave it down in the comments below for me. Thank you guys for spending this time with me and Jackie's Reading Corner. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!